This is the production you're dealing with right now.
I just
hope that it's in focus. All right. We have a guest today. Feitelberg. John Feitelberg. by the way.
Yeah, that's Mr. Feitelberg. Nah, I'm John. I'm the cool substitute.
You're the cool guy?
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking high, hungover.
You have the mug full of vodka?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to teach you about the Salem Witch Trials.
Okay, yeah. A couple of Massachusetts guys.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
My first question to you is, what do you know about the Witch Trials?
To my knowledge, this was during the 1600s.
Correct, 17th
Yeah?
century, yep,
Okay.
1692 to 1693.
But centuries, by the way, make no sense. If it's 17th century, why is it the 1600s?
And a lot of teachers won't be honest with you about stuff. I'll be honest with you. I Googled that like 10 minutes ago. You know what I mean?
You're way cooler. How people were deemed witches was very, I would say, unfair.
How many people were killed?
Witches or
Yeah.
people?
We-
Good question.
It's a great question.
I know.
It's a fair question.
I know.
Because they were convicted as witches.
Yes.
How many witches were killed?
1 million.
You would think.
What was it, like 7?
It was 19. 5 of them were men, Dana.
I said 1 million.
Yeah, no, we make a pretty big deal out of it.
19?
19 people were killed. 300 were tried.
Was it Blair?
It was not Blair.
Blair Witch?
Good one.
I'm serious. I was serious. That wasn't a joke.
Well, no, Blair wasn't a witch.
Why is she Blair Witch?
I haven't even seen the movie, to be honest. There was this one guy, one minister. He was a mouthy son of a bitch. Cotton Mather. So he wrote a couple pamphlets, wrote a couple stories about it, about Goody Glover, an Irish slave who cursed 6 children. She
Did she
said
have a fucking wand?
they weren't real curses, you see.
Okay,
They
yeah, it
weren't,
was
she
just-
just yelled. I'm sure she was a drunk Irish woman. You fucking kids, get out of the fucking
Hey,
yard.
mate, go do that.
Was that your Irish
I don't know,
accent?
yeah.
Give it to me again.
Hey, mate, go get my Lucky Charms.
Jesus, Danny, you took a fucking terrible Irish. So Cotton Mather wrote these pamphlets about witches and all this stuff.
Okay.
And then it kind of brewed a little bit.
Brewed.
Yeah, let's go, dude. 1692, 1693 is when the trials themselves took place. It was just women would be accused of being a witch. And that really meant, all it meant was that they didn't subscribe to puritanical beliefs.
Puritanical beliefs, to my knowledge, that is, you don't fuck before you're married.
Hardcore Christianity, dressing to
Yeah.
not reveal yourself to the world.
Maybe they showed a little skin.
Little skin, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
they flash an ankle around.
Ah, you showed an ankle. Which?
It was people who didn't dress the right way.
Yeah,
So that
okay.
would be...
Sluts.
I don't know specifically, but yeah, it could have been a bunch of sluts. So once you were accused, then you were brought to an examination.
Okay.
Now, an examination could be physical in the sense that they would look for a witch's teat, which is just a birthmark. It was considered evidence that the devil had sucked your blood.
So, like, if you're a Drew Brees, you're a witch.
Drew Brees, big time witch.
I have a big mole on my back.
Yeah.
I'd be Witch City.
Yeah, and you would think you can't be a witch because you're a guy.
Yeah.
No. You would see a tribunal of ministers. And basically there, if you didn't have a birthmark, if you were one of the rare people who didn't have a birthmark or a mole on your body, they basically just begged you to confess.
Really?
That was the whole thing.
This was in Massachusetts?
This is in Massachusetts, not in Salem though. Salem, 1692, is current day Danvers, Mass.
One time I played against Danvers, 36 points.
Yeah?
Mass premiere, yep.
There was Salem town and Salem.
Yeah.
Not fans of each other.
Okay.
In fact, the whole thing really boils down to urban planning. It was poorly. Eventually, Salem town was like, we're getting our own fucking minister. They bring in this minister. He's a bit of a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He accused Tituba, who was his slave. He accused Tituba of being a witch because
A lot
he...
of tits and teats.
It's just a classic case of mass hysteria.
Yeah. I still can't believe I thought there was 1 million witches.
You would think. Once you were convicted, then you were asked, who are the other witches? And then they would list names, and then they'd go round up those people. And then they'd try them, convict them, because everyone's got a fucking birthmark. They would just rat out more, and that was the vicious cycle that lasted for about 1.5 years. The governor, Governor Pibb, was away at the time.
You really know everything. Did you just memorize this?
I studied, bro. I don't want to come on your show and not do a good job. He got back to Massachusetts. It was one of those, like, you look around like, what hath God wrought? He's like, what are you guys doing? He then wrote a letter to the king, and he was like, yo, so, been doing some stuff over here. We're killing witches. Just want to get your read on it a little bit. Like, what do you think about this? And he was like, it's a good idea. You should be hunting witches for sure.
Okay.
but no more using spectral evidence in trial.
Like, that dude has a mole on his chest.
Yeah, and they'd be like, that's a witch, that's a witch. But once that evidence was no longer allowed to be brought to trial, it's pretty hard to prove a witch at that point.
Kind of tough for the mole community. I imagine you have this big ugly mole that you don't want anyone to see, and they're like, all right, you have to come on trial and talk about your moles. That would suck, dude.
Tough. Yeah.
I hate this thing on my back. If anyone sees it, it's fucking. You want to see it?
Yeah, let me see it.
Pretty.
I mean, it's, yeah, no, never mind.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's gross, right?
Yeah, I'm going to pull a hair out of it.
You pulled it out?
Yeah. Got one. Got two.
Hair's coming out of it?
Yeah, dude, you got a hairy ass mole. So in 1957, 5 witches were parted.
From 200 years before?
Yeah. In 2022 was when the last witch was finally pardoned. I would not petition for that conviction overturned.
I would want a witch.
I'd want a witch in my
I
family
wouldn't want to
tree.
give up a witch.
Yeah, dude.
But then, if it ever comes back around, then you're like, oh, you have witch blood.
Yeah. But Puritans believe that regularly, on a daily basis, multiple times per day, the devil is trying to steal your soul. So you got to be ready for that at all moments.
How do you even sleep?
You have to thwart the devil's attacks. Yeah, sleeping
You
would
have
be...
to have a fucking shield around you? Like, what's going on?
You can't put up a dream catcher because they'll call you a witch. So you're really
fucked up, dude. I'm pretty easily brainwashed. I would have been a witch believer.
You would believe in witches?
Because if one of my boys was just like, hey, dude, that girl's a witch, I'd be like, yeah, you're right.
There's quite a birthmark on her.
I have one right here. It's right above my dick.
Really?
It's right in my pubes. What's that little guy, Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Diglett? You know Diglett?
Diglett, yeah.
I got a little
you
Diglett.
Got a Diglett
I got a
near your dick?
Diglett above my dick. I think the number one thing I learned today was that there was 20 witches.
Yeah.
And not a million. All right, Fights. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my guy.
Salem
Sorry,
Witch
Francis.